Remember how you loved the first Star Wars? Isn't Obi-Wan Kenobi an astoundingly good character? It's amazing how much he resonated universally. I think there's a great truth in this. There's something we can really learn about ourselves. We naturally have a sense that we need a person like that in our own lives. To watch the relationship of Luke Skywalker and Obi-Wan spoke deeply to us. We know that we're called to do great things in life, but to do those things that we can do, we need the help of a master who's already doing them, who's able to show us the way. So I have 3 tips for finding your Obi-Wan. First, realize you need him. Second, know what you're looking for. And third, be willing to follow him once you find him. So realize you need him. You know, I think there's a lot of voices in our life right now that are saying to us, you're going to be fine. You can just bumble along. You're good at this. You know, be confident. There's a great balance there. We do need to have confidence. At the same time, self-confidence is completely compatible with recognizing where we need help from a master. And particularly when we're talking about the master craft of living a good life, we especially there need a master, someone we can follow, someone who can mentor us. So it's realizing, frankly, the greatness of what we can do when we realize that we're going to need help in doing it. Even masters need a master. And if we don't realize that we need a master, Obi-Wan might be right next door, and we'll never find him. Well, know what we're looking for. This is a challenging one because we can say, well, how do I know exactly what the master will have because he has things that I don't have? Right? This is tricky. But I think we have a natural sense of what we can become, of what human flourishing looks like, especially when we see it. And so it might be that we discover more what we're looking for, especially if we're intentional and we're really looking. We're asking the big question, what do I want to become in life? Remember, this is not about finding an Obi-Wan in some particular area of life, this craft, this profession. This is about life in general. So we're being intentional, asking ourselves, whom do we want to become? And then we're looking for, okay, who's that person that's further down the road? Because the master, Obi-Wan, is going to be significantly further down the road. It doesn't have to be perfect. But we'll see, oh, hey, that person is further down the road. Maybe I didn't even realize how good this road is, how great it's going to be until I've seen this person. So let's be intentional in looking for Obi-Wan. And then, when we find him, we got to be willing to follow him. We're entering into a relationship. We're entering into something that's going to demand a lot of us. It's not always glamorous. Remember how, it's classic, Luke, he didn't want to do the things that the master wanted him to do. This is always the challenge. This comes from the lack of perspective that the apprentice has. And we just need to remind ourselves, if we already were in a position to judge whether this is the right practice or not, then we wouldn't need him in the first place. So we should expect that some of the things he's going to direct us to do might not feel very good. They might be very hard. They might not have been what we would have chosen. Well, exactly. That's part of the great plan here. Part of our growing to become who we are. Realize we need to be willing to follow, even when it's challenging. But the fruits will be amazing. So we recognize that we need Obi-Wan. We need to think more so we know what we're looking for. And then when we find him, be willing to enter into a real relationship and do things that might be tough. to go down that road in the master craft of becoming the person I'm called to be. One reasonably wonders, where do I begin? Where concretely am I looking? I think this is one of those things where there's no absolute answer to that. The good news is, if we set our sights rightly, this is 50% of it. If we set our sights rightly, it's going to tend to bring us into the avenues. It's going to bring us to the contexts and the places where we're going to run into this kind of person. Might be in our neighborhood, might be at our work, might be at our church, might be in the neighborhood, might not be. And we got to be willing to just to look further. Maybe we're looking online. You know, these are challenging times, particularly depending on where you are, to find people that might be further down the road that we're trying to go down. And so there's no absolute, but I say with confidence, if first of all we're intentional about it, we're thinking in this vein, this is going to tend to draw us into the groups of the kind of people where we're going to be likely to find this. And then, well, okay, and then what do you do when you actually want to maybe test the waters with someone? I mean, be frank. Hey, you know, I'm looking for a little guidance. You know, you don't jump right in and say, well, you be my Obi-Wan. But you start to ask certain kinds of questions. You start to spend a little bit of time, and then be ready perhaps to go explicit. I really could use your help. Are you willing to give me some time? Can I reach out to you? Could we maybe have some type of regular contact? This is after having gotten to know the person a little bit. You know, and finally, I'd pray. I think the Lord wants us to find this kind of human guidance. I think He's going to help us find it.